Hello everyone and welcome to something that's going to be a little different for 7 Days to Die. So I've been wanting to install the Smorgasbord mod list for a long time, and I've spent 3 weeks re-downloading it over and over again, and I'm finally going to play it. However, I just wanted to give everyone a little bit of an overview first, because this is not your normal mod list. It is pretty complicated. You have to install its own little mod controller. It's got to have like 500 things downloaded, and if you don't have Nexus Premium, you're going to be clicking 500 slow download buttons. So this is not your normal mod list. This is going to change almost everything in the game, and it has the tagline of something like 7 Days to Die, but better. In fact, it's right here, better 7 Days to Die profile. As you can see, it's got an absolute crap ton of options over here. Like this, as someone who's used to looking at some crazy spreadsheets, like I do exports from that have millions of rows, so I'm used to crazy stuff. This is pretty hard to look at. There's a lot of colors in here, and if you're colorblind, this is probably going to be even harder. But basically, there's 500 mods in this mod list, and I'm going to go through them real quick and just decide on some of them that I'm going to want. So the first thing you need to understand is each of these tabs has a whole bunch of different stuff in it. There's priorities in it, and some of them you need to read instructions for. For instance, UI suite options. Choose only one UI provider or disable all. Do not mix and match because obviously two UI mods are going to conflict. So it starts with the framework mods, and these ones are things you can't really disable, so they're just going to be here. There's stuff like Pyro Paint's better mod compatibility, Quartz. You probably use at least some of these. Quartz in particular is basically the foundation for most UIs, if I'm not mistaken. There's a lot here, but we're just gonna go through them, and I'm going to just turn them on real quick. This isn't gonna be a real. This isn't really going to be a real episode. This is going to be like a point zero episode just to give everyone an idea of what I'm doing. So it's not like if you're interested in the actual episode, you'll be able to check this out and see what's going on. Anyways, so we have a couple of UI options. It looks like it's going with Steel UI by default. And I'm just gonna leave the defaults on. Damage numbers are fine. Crosshairs plus. This mod is UI agnostic. This mod makes the tool build disappear. I don't like that. Immersive crosshair. I'm just gonna leave the default options here because I think Steel UI is pretty good. Cat UI is apparently an option. This UI comes with all the bells and whistles turned to the max. Some players like it, some don't. I think I like Steel just fine. Um, Survivalist makes the game more complex and challenging. Better storm progression. Okay, that's good. Rope and realism. I don't know what that does, but if it makes ropes better, that'd be great. Nails crafting. Okay, all this stuff is pretty good. No snoring patch? What in the? Only for you use with insomnia. For those, I don't know what insomnia is. I'm gonna assume it's something to do with sleeping, though. Only used with insomnia for those of you who prefer quiet nights and mornings. Zombies will not get attracted by sleeping players, but will still attack if they happen to be close enough to detect them. If you disable the main mod, disable this one too. I don't know if that's on yet. Is there a search bar somewhere here? No, I'm not seeing a search bar. There probably is one, and I'm just being dumb. But we're just gonna leave it at that. I'm probably gonna leave most of the default stuff on because I don't really have opinions on this mod yet. However, I am just going through this real quick because I saw some anime player models in here, and if you like that stuff, perfectly good for you. But I personally think it's immersion breaking, and my you know gritty survival Walking Dead style things. This isn't the kind of game I want an anime model in, so I'm just kind of going through these real quick. Advanced random world generation. We're just gonna leave all that on and assume it's better. Maps. 10K default. Sure. 9K popular. Okay. 13K plus all NPCs. Use this map, you must enable every map under the. Oh god, I'm not reading all that. We'll see what we like and what we don't like in the actual playthrough. I'm just kind of doing a little. Ooh, the Descent. I've been wanting to play that one. Serenity Caves, the Vault. I've heard good things about that one. Dwarven Citadels. No, that's too immersion breaking. All this looks pretty good. I know at least a couple of these, so we're gonna leave most of these alone. Standard mods, archery expansion. That sounds great. Autoclaim challenges, interesting. Better snap and craft. That's nice. I assume that means it just goes into the correct slots and everything. Alright, I'm not seeing anything that's weird. By the way, Kalankar, if you're watching this video, yes, there is some of the Tarkov weapons in this. I think it's the extraction specifically. We'll get to those. Let's see. Perk options, choose perk options. Choose either perk mastery or legendary perks, not both. We're going with perk masteries because it's the one that's turned on by default. Quality of life. Okay, this might be where we get into some interesting choices. It's best practice to only toggle mods when you start a new world, of course. Immersive camera. I'm gonna leave that alone. I don't care about legs. Custom. I don't really care about this. True third person. Don't care about this. The rest all seem to be fine. Self-planting trees must be enabled when you, yeah, of course. Interesting. I don't know if I want that yet. More gore. I think the gore is fine, personally. Skyrim picking... do not use a gamepad. Requires 0 score. Already enabled as framework. Okay, we're going to turn the Skyrim lockpicking mod on, because I've actually discussed this one with my users before, or my viewers before. Sorry, I'm a programmer, so sometimes I use the word users instead of viewers. It's a problem. But anyways, my viewers, yeah, I've discussed that, and I want to try that out. Turn lights on and off. Allows you to toggle lights on and off in a POI. Personally, I find this to be a nuisance at times. I'm going to leave that off then. Normalize craft times. This small mod normalizes and balances the crafting time for weapons and armor, both for vanilla and mod, and makes the armor perks, the weapons perks, and advanced engineering more relevant for crafting time. Honestly, I don't really care about that. I don't want the perks to be more relevant for crafting time. In fact, I think crafting time is kind of over the top as is. No XP for reading. I don't really care. I don't think that's a big enough thing to matter. Better door functions, not recommended for multiplayer dedicated servers. You might want to edit or disable this mod if playing multiplayer doors. The player places down auto open, auto close, and auto lock. You can configure it manually. That does sound good, but I'm just gonna leave that alone because it's not turned on by default. Yes, I am that kind of loser right now. I'm just gonna do this all default. Quest mods. Quest revamp, better intro, buried treasure, no gears, no, this all looks pretty good. I'm actually finding the poise always infested. No, anyways, I'm actually finding this really acceptable. I might not even post this video. I don't know. Like this all seems to be very unoffensive. By the way, I finally got more coffee. Don't know if I ever mentioned that, but we've been out of coffee for a while. It's been horrible. We've been going to Starbucks, and it's just been a huge waste of money. Not that Starbucks, if you like Starbucks, it's fine, but like if you go there every day, it's kind of expensive. Um, Blood Moon Chaos. That sounds fun. Random zombie feed. Oh, random zombie speed. That sounds really good. Huh. The mean ones. Zombies can't dig. That sounds great. Zombies will not dig unless you manually. Okay, that sounds amazing. I've always complained about that. Um, FNS less streamers, please. That sounds amazing. Although I really don't have problems with streamers. Larger and slower prey animals. That sounds nice. Better biomes. All right, I've basically had no problems with any of these NPCs. This is probably where it's going to get interesting because I've never played with NPCs before, so we'll just see what our options are. Drastically changes the game. FPS hit. Add to new games. Yeah. Um. Honestly, I think I want to play without NPCs because if it's going to drastically change the game, I kind of want to like just play with the mods first, and then on a secondary playthrough, I'll go like on a maximal crazy one and include NPCs and stuff. Armor and decor. We've already got little Sonia's, Sanja's. I don't know. Anyways, sorry, mod maker. I apologize if I butchered your name. Let's see. Oh yeah. So there's also like collectible toys and stuff. Think Fallout. I'm gonna leave that off because I think Fallout. I don't want 7 Days to Die Fallout Edition. You know what I mean? Anyways, gonna leave most of those alone. Royd. I will add new avatars and dances. No, no, that's I have no problem with dances and stuff, but I don't care that much. Vehicle mods. I'm just gonna leave all the defaults on for now. I don't really have too many opinions on vehicles. I personally would like to see more vehicles in the base game, but I don't really have any opinions on them. EFT extraction pack, perfect. Don't toggle mid save. Yeah, I imagined. Core hard requirements, pack standards, slow progression, both ammos, vanilla ammo. As I said, I'm going to leave this on the default. Whatever the mod has by default, I'm just going to leave on. Optional overpowered mods. I've heard these, and according to the actual instructions, which, by the way, if you need them, are They are at this URL. I'll put it into the. I will of course put this. Oh, it's actually not on the screen because I'm showing the browser. Anyways, I'll put the URL in the description for the instructions. But anyways, it mentions the overpowered mods aren't actually that bad. There are some on by default. I'm just gonna leave the default ones on, I guess. If they turn out to be too overpowered, like we'll just start a new save without them. Optional performance increases. Honestly, sounds amazing. Optional audio mods. We'll leave these on. More default zombie sounds. No silent zombies. That's kind of nice. I've always hated the silent zombies, if I'm being honest. Or you may choose compatibility mods. That's not important. Pending updates and or experimental enable at your own risk. Okay. Interesting. Good to know. I'm not going to enable at my own risk because I don't know. I did not see any of the anime stuff I saw downloading, so I don't know if that's just off by default and I missed it, but yeah. So this has just been a quick intro video to the mods that are going to be in here. Like we've got some really popular stuff like EFT, Little Sonja, lots of frameworks, Steel UI, like it's not really all that crazy. I just wanted to have a little video to explain to everyone what exactly 500 mods actually meant. So if I'm not mistaken, this mod list currently has 550-ish, give take 20 or so in one direction or the other, and it's pretty complicated to set up. I might make a video entirely about installing it, but overall, the instructions that exist right now in other videos are probably fine for installing this. But let me know if you have trouble, and I'll just like try to help out as I can. Although, once again, not the mod maker, not the tool maker, none of that stuff. So I don't know. Also, I don't even know if this is gonna run. There's every chance I hit run and it just doesn't work. So we're gonna find out on the next episode. So I hope you enjoyed episode 0. See you on the next one. Bye.